Greetings, ladies and mental gents, and welcome to my channel, where I like to make audio narrations of various stories from the internet. In this video, we will be focusing on a story from the subreddit HFY, called Food for Thought Part 10, written by Level 25 Human Nerd. The link to the original will be in the description down below. And, as always, I hope that you enjoy. How you have fallen from heaven, Morningstar, son of the dawn, you have been cast down to earth, you who once laid low to the nations. Isaiah 14:12. Within 2 hours, Alexander was in the Blood of Many's primary hangar, working with 2 human technicians and the pilots who had first brought him aboard. Crates of human equipment laid scattered about, portable garbage lifts holding oversized weapons and munition packs. In the middle of all of that sat Alex's personal ZF-9, sitting in its rack in a dark metallic armor vaguely resembling a tailless Sabari, almost 10 feet tall with its digi-grey legs ending in the carbide talons, the arms covered in attachments, points with extra armor and other modular accessories. The torso unit containing a small fusion microreactor and powered the whole thing. Beyond the base technical specs, there was evidence that the human's personal touches added to the suit as well. His UCH rank when serial number was stamped onto the chest plate. On the right arm he bore the UCH crest, along with the Canadian 3rd Fleet rank emblem beneath it. On the left arm was an image of a naked human woman with wings for arms and a bird talons from the knees down, straddling a comically depicted rotary cannon. The techs from the Shazazarad had been going over the equipment brought over from the corvette while Alexander and the pilots discussed the mission at hand. The shipmaster couldn't, in all good conscience, authorize a mission this dangerous and potentially suicidal, but they needed more information, so he had given permission for the dropship to do a low-orbit flyby, while Alex acting as an extra set of eyes. If Alex decided to disobey orders once they were out there, well, that was his choice to make. The human would deal with the consequences of his actions. Flight Alpha Jory Krethlin, the co-pilot, her flyer Yetitharana, and been all too eager to take part. Orders or no, they only regretted that their part in the plan would end once the human had disembarked. They were to deliver him to the battlefield while the Shazazarad provided a diversion. This is crazy, Alex muttered to himself for the 5th time, looking over his shoulder at the Harpy. But it had been a while since he had piloted one of the combat suits, but the techs assured him that it was like riding a hoverbike. Once you got the hang of it, you never forgot. The tungsten ceramic shield, on the other hand, the engineers admitted that in theory would keep him alive, but the slab of composite material was designed for dispersing sustained plasma bursts, not this. He was about to go over the plan one last time when he saw the 2 pilots snap into a salute. A quick glance brought the shipmaster into view, and he quickly joined them. Floating next to the terrace was a portable hello terminal with the Captain Burden's image floating above it. "As you were," the shipmaster said, returning the salutes. "I came to see you off personally, Dread Alpha. Under normal circumstances, the deception of this plan of yours relies on would be distasteful. But we are fighting against animals, not honorable foes. They are undeserving of true battle." Alex gave a nod, remembering the first tenant. These pirates were mostly Sabari exiles and traitors. By the laws of the Khandra, they were considered nothing more than beasts in the eyes of the other kin. "We are not only here to wish you luck, pretty Officer Krevnikov." Bendon piped in, her back straight and her hair tied back into a tight bun. Even through the hologram, everything about her screamed protocol and regulation. "I've run your plan past High Command. They've reluctantly agreed that, under the circumstances, our involvement in this operation is warranted and have given their approval to proceed. They have dispatched a Teddy Roosevelt and the Tsar Nicholas to provide reinforcements. They should arrive in 26 hours. If you haven't lowered the shields by that time that they arrive, we will begin landing troops for a standard surface assault." "Understood, ma'am. If all goes to plan, the shields should be disabled in time for their arrival. I'll check in every 5 hours, if possible," Alex replied with a stiff salute. Captain Bendon nodded and turned to face Thuris. "I'll begin preparations for our part in this. I'll look forward to speaking with you further after the operation, Shipmaster." "As will I, Captain." The 2 officers shared a nod before the hologram blinked out. "Alexander, I would like to ask a personal favor of you." The informality of the request surprised Alex more than the request itself. He took his leave from the text and moved a ways to the side to speak to Thurus with a semblance of privacy. "Sir?" The large alien tapped a few commands into his wrist unit, and the image of a heavily scarred and particularly vicious-looking Sabari male appeared on the hollow display. "This is the leader of the criminal slime below us. Once he was known as Raktalasia of the brood Thirg. An honored fleet alpha." His lips curled in disgust at the thought that someone like that holding such a position of honor. He fought with savagery and barbarism and was stripped of his rank, commanded to perform the act of redemption and regain his honor. Instead, he murdered his shipmaster, and he was placed under, and stole the ship and fled. Since then, he has been gathering other exiles and scum to his banner and forming them into a band that we now face. The hologram vanished, and Thurus leaned closer to Alex, his voice dropping into a deep growl. "If the path guides you to him, put the beast down. End the infection that he has become before it spreads any further through the minds of my people." Alex took a deep breath. It wasn't his place to act as an executioner in an alien conflict. His own training had taught him to seek surrender first, only to kill if absolutely necessary. He met the gaze of the shipmaster, and he could see the fire of hatred in the alien's eyes. Saying nothing, Alex simply snapped out a firm salute. This seemed to satisfy the shipmaster. Thurus returned the salute and gave the human a heavy pat on the arm. Alex took his leave and returned to the text to finish making the last preparations and help hook up the last of the equipment to the Harpy before suiting up. The hangar was cleared quickly for a few minutes later, and one of the techs stayed behind into a void suit to go over the last-minute connections. Alex took a moment to stretch out to take a good drink of water before backing himself into the power arbor. The suit closed around him, and he got himself situated. The design of the legs leaving him on his toes, and his hands slipping into the control gloves situated in the forearms. As the torso unit closed around his chest and the helmet sealed over his face, he heard the faint hiss and hum of the reactor being powered up by the tech. Soon, the glowing UI of his HUD flared to life, and the visor blinked on, giving him a clear view of the hangar bay. Reactor online, sensors online, weapons online, all systems nominal. Good morning, pilot. Good morning, Alice. Ready to jump down the rabbit hole. Analyzing mission parameters, analyzing loadout. Mission success rate calculated at 78.5%. We've been through worse, pilot. I knew you'd like it. Alex smirked before giving the tech a thumbs up and walked the suit onto the Sabari shuttle. He felt the engines flare to life and the gravity drop as the hangar depressurized and the ship flew out into the void of space. There wasn't much to see in the wilderness tunnel, so instead of reviewing the tactical display on the HUD and double-checking his loadout, attached to the inside of the long shield with a 30mm ALP rifle with a 200-round drum, he had 6 extra magazines of ammunition attached to his chest racks on the suit. Space for his close-quarters weapons. A pair of heated ceramic snap blades occupied the forearms, while a compartment in the right thigh plating held an 8-gauge heavy slug revolver. A mortar unit sat in the protective case in his left shoulder with a machine carbine folded behind the right and tucked under the wing like a jump pack bolted onto his back. The mechanics of the suit meant that while he weighed about as much as an MBT, he could move like a man unhindered. Approaching target, depressurizing cargo bay. The Flight Alpha's voice came through the communications rig, and Alex pinged an acknowledgement. As the air hissed out of the cargo bay, he made one last check on his non-combat gear that he had been sent with. A pack of MREs, a beacon spike, and a large canister of medical supplies for the blood of many, and a pack containing a basic survival kit and his standard carbine pistol set. We've reached the target area. Walk the path, human, and know that we will sing of your honor in the ages to come. The Flight Alpha called back. Save a place for me in the feeding den, Flight Alpha, and we will sing it together, Alex replied, earning a laugh from the cockpit. As the transport's hatch slid open, his visor polarized to compensate for the sudden, unfiltered illumination from the alien star the planet was orbiting. Before him stretched a world of high peaks and red rock dotted the seas of deep violet grasslands. He licked his lips and tried to get a smell of iron out of his nose before bringing the shield up and stepping out onto the edge. A deep breath filled his lungs, with a tungsten ceramic slab filled his vision. The HUD projected a wireframe of the topography below along the paneled path that he would take, a timer appearing in the corner of his vision. Amadeus to Lucifer and Thron standing by. Brendan's voice called through the channel. Thron acknowledges. Proceed when ready, replied Thyrus. Alexander locked his grip on the inner handles on the shield before replying. Lucifer acknowledges. On your mark, Amdusius. Timer ticked down. 6, 5, 4, mark. Streaks of fire flared at the Shazazarad as its cannons assaulted the batteries opened. The bombardment pounded against the unseen shields protecting the base below, the air rippling through the concussion of each impact and flexing on the energy barrier as it hit. 2, 1. Exhaling slowly, Alexander took his first step down into heaven. End of Part 10. If you enjoyed this story and wish to support the author, the link is down below. If you would like to support this channel, there are numerous ways to do so. They will also be listed in the description down below. But the easiest way to help this channel is to share it, subscribe, and like. And, as always, I will see you all in the next video, and I hope that you have a good one. Cheers!